In today's video, we're going to talk about the Snyderverse coming to Netflix, Justice League 2, Justice League 3, the Ben Affleck movie, and so much more coming to Netflix, according to Twitter. So, we're going to break down what really is going on and realistically what isn't going on, which isn't really a lot. But for some reason, I keep getting requests to go, yo, Warstu, but Pete Safran said this, and now this means that they can license all the DC characters to Netflix. No. In short, nothing's really changed at all. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? It's been a minute. What is good? So, if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture-based content that we cover on a daily basis. You could subscribe to the channel, let me know down below. Do you ever think Zack Snyder will get to finish, which would have been a 5-part masterpiece? Zack Snyder's Justice League is still a really epic movie, and I really want to see Darkseid ready the Armada and do things the old way. That was the coldest, hardest line ever in comic book movie history, but we've got to be realistic here. This isn't the scenario when Zack Snyder had all the footage he needed. He just needed to film a little bit of stuff in his backyard. They have not filmed anything for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 or 3. Completely different scenario. And also, if you could, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, to keep up to date with everything I say on Twitter. And also, if you could, follow me on Instagram, @Warstu, to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. So, this hashtag is still going around. Sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix. Sell the Snyderverse to Netflix. It still doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make sense from a business point of view. And a lot of points that this trend and these people behind this campaign keep pulling up is, well, Warner Bros. Discovery is in debt. Zassos all about making money. He is, but that really doesn't change anything. So, earlier this week, Zack Snyder liked a post, and that means he's got in. Why do people on Twitter think that Zack Snyder liking a post on Vero means something? Well, because Zack once famously said, and now everyone keeps using this line, Zack doesn't do anything without intention. Zack is so cryptic. Zack is so mysterious. He liked a post of someone asking, are you still interested? And then the internet seems to think, damn, Zack is interested. Of course, Zack wants to finish Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and Part 3, or Justice League 2 and 3. That's obvious. You don't need to keep asking him. You don't need to keep hounding him. But it's not realistic. It's not going to happen in the DC universe. It's not going to happen on an Elseworld story. When people thought, oh, James Gunn said he spoke to Zack Snyder and he had no interest in it, but Zack's just liked a post on Vero saying that James Gunn lied because Zack liked the post. People on Twitter really need to kind of learn what reality is, because someone liking a post doesn't mean anything. So let's break down why people are going into this feeding frenzy that, oh my God, it's going to happen. So DC drama, Dead Boy Detective moves to Netflix from HBO Max. Sources say that Greg Berlanti produced drama didn't fit the new chapter of content being spearheaded by DC executives James Gunn and Pete Safran. So this is one instance, right, where a show that was supposed to be on HBO Max, but seeing as streaming, TV, games, it's all going to be in a cohesive universe. There can't be anything on HBO Max to do with a DC property, at least, on there. So Netflix are having it as well. So this hashtag has taken this and run with it, that now we can get Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. Context is completely different. Where is the context here? There is no context. You're taking something completely out of what it's saying. This does not mean the Snyderverse is going to be restored on HBO Max at all. So, DC dramas based on Neil and Matt's comics has been sold from HBO Max to Warner Bros. Discovery, back streamer that developed the show, to Netflix. Producers, Warner Bros. Television, shopped the drama after sources say the series didn't fit with a new chapter that obviously James Gunn and Pete Safran are building for the comic book powerhouse. The plan includes 5 interconnected shows that will live alongside Peacemaker HBO Max show. Also contributing to the show's move between platforms is the fact that HBO Max would not have been able to market the show until 2024, with executives at the streamer blessing producers to take the show elsewhere. So what you need to understand is Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 has not been filmed. It's not in pre-production. Sure, Zack Snyder's famously said he's got new storyboards. He knows how everything ends. He knows what happens in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. No one's disputing that. But you need to understand there's a big difference, right? From Dead Boy Detectives and selling the rights to the Justice League and Darkseid and everything else. It's almost like some people are... I hate to say that, but it's to compare Dead Boy Detective to the Justice League. HBO Max, yeah, we could have something on HBO Max if James Gunn and Saffron wanted it to happen in the Elseworld universe. Sure, but they are not going to let Netflix have a live-action version of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, etc. on Netflix. Animation is a completely different ballgame. So I do find this kind of stuff ridiculous. I get asked so many times to cover the content based around Zack Snyder's Justice League coming to Netflix because there's lots of new information. And then I go out looking for this new information and realize there is no new information. It would cost Netflix too much money. Netflix is hemorrhaging money. And they're not making very much money. They're losing subscribers. They're only really investing into their own IPs. Do you really think Netflix could afford to license out in the sense of being able to afford Batman, Superman, etc., and the Justice League? Dead Boy Detective. Why are people even comparing it? It's not going to happen. Sure, David Zaslav did say that he could, and they could, sell some of their less-known properties to other companies. Sure, we know that's going to happen, but you're not getting the Justice League. Netflix is not getting Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. And yeah, sure, I know posts going around Twitter of people going, oh yeah, but you can license Wonder Woman for 10 to 50 million, The Flash for 5 to 10 million, so on and so forth. Netflix don't have that kind of money. And then they buy the licensing, all this kind of stuff, right? But then they actually have to produce the said movie. So then another $200 to $300 million on top of that. Do you really think Netflix is going to invest in close to $500 million just to do Zack Snyder's Justice League 2? No, because they need to, like, streaming services depend on subscribers reoccurring and keep subscribing. It's not going to happen. It's just not viable on a streaming service. And the biggest spoiler out here is Warner Bros. Discovery just won't do it. They won't do it. Why would they give Netflix, who at the moment is the biggest streaming service, I can't see that happening long term, why would they give them the keys to the castle? They're not going to go, yeah, Henry Cavill, Man of Steel 2, you could do that on Netflix, Justice League 2, The Batman Nightmare, Wonder Woman 3, Justice League 3. It's actually delusional. It's not going to happen. The best case scenario you get on Netflix will be some kind of animated Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 or 3. That's potentially viable. That is potentially viable because no one's going to confuse an animated series with live action. But oh, wait, the DC universe, animation, TV shows, movies, video games, they're all going to be cohesive in the same universe. Trust me. I would love for Zack Snyder to get his second part of the movie, to get the third part, and for a Ben Affleck-based Batman movie, which should be Batman Brave and Bold, but that's another subject. Yeah, sure. I really want this to happen, but it's not going to happen. It's really not. I'm not telling people to stop campaigning for it, but Zack is busy with Rebel Moon for years to come. Now I get it. People are like, yeah, but he liked the post. He liked the post. Zack has acknowledged a post. That's it. That does not mean anything. Zack likes literally every single post. If you go on Vero, he probably doesn't even look at what he's liking. He likes so many posts. He's just acknowledging his fan base, saying, yeah, I see what you're doing, lads. Cool. And that's it. I mean, if you've got any friends or whatever, you probably like their posts on Instagram or Twitter, but you don't really care about what they're posting. You just like it. You know, social media reaction. But come on, seriously, it ain't going to happen. It's not viable. DC would not do it. Zaslav would not. He's just come out and said Superman and Batman are the forefront of DC going forward. He's not going to license out the Snyderverse version of Superman and Batman. Is he? No. He's really not. But I get asked this all the time. Warstu, you're such a traitor. You've turned your back on the Snyderverse. No, I haven't. I've always been a fan of DC and Marvel and Kaiju Monsterverse and pretty much everything. And the new Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy game. I'm a fan of pretty much every universe to a certain degree. So people saying, oh, Warstu, you've turned your back. No, I'm just being realistic. The only way this is going to happen is if David Zaslav goes, yo, Zach, I want you to do Justice League 2 and 3, Elseworld Universe, DC Studios, cool, and let's run it. Or if James Gunn and Pete Safran are like, yo, let's run Justice League 2 and 3 on an Elseworld storyline, cool, run it. That's the only way it's going to happen. But careful for spoilers, lads and ladettes. Warner Bros. Discovery doesn't have any money. Yeah, I know the new Hogwarts Legacy game recently nearly made $1 billion in 2 weeks. Like just under 900 million in 2 weeks. But that's a completely different division. So my point is, Warner Bros. Does not have money, and they're not going to sell off the rights to the Snyderverse characters for 500 million just to get a quick buck back, because it's not going to happen. I mean, yeah, sure, Warner Bros. Are in debt, but there's no rush to pay it back. Their lenders, their investors aren't knocking at the door saying, where's my money? They're not begging for the money, because the longer that Warner Bros. Discovery are in debt, the more interest they accumulate. So it doesn't matter if you're getting 500,000 tweets on sell the Snyderverse to Netflix. That does not mean anything. So please stop asking me to cover this subject. I mean, I cover it. Sure, I'll cover it every so often, but realistically, it's only going to happen if David Zaslav or James Gunn or Pete Safran like, yo, let's run an Elseworld storyline, Justice League 2, let's go. And that's the only way it's going to happen. Otherwise, it's got absolutely no chance. I really can't believe people are comparing a little HBO Max series to the Justice League. Dead Boy Detective moves to Netflix. Completely different to Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. Completely different. Do you realize how many characters they'd have to have the license to in order to use enough characters in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2? It's just not ever gonna happen. And if it does happen, I'll be very happy, but it's not actually gonna happen. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see that beautiful face behind that beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and I will catch ya in another video very soon. Catch ya later.